end with Slavoj Žižek.
Okay. First, I'm so sad we don't have time to go into it because I found this, again, yet another this. By this, I mean this strange mutual recognition and this absolutely, think about it, what you've heard, this properly Kafkaesque paradox of being extradited without even being charged. I mean, are we aware where we are? But let's not take that path first. I cannot but refrain from making an obscene, lovingly obscene, remark of how when you said you were staying with that Miss of Egypt, no, I hope there will be some American fundamentalist who will say, now everything is clear. There you were seduced by that Miss who was really Al-Qaeda agent, and then you were turned into a terrorist agent through her to do your terrorist activity. Now things are clear now. Okay, so let's go on with more.
1 minute to go.
Okay, yeah, but 1 minute in this broader Christian sense where time is eternity and so on. Very briefly, first, that also those Palestinian papers that kind of you triggered the movement. I wonder if you agree. I've read them. What made me so depressive is that my liberal Israeli friends were telling me all the time, listen, we admit it, we are doing bad thing on the West Bank, but you cannot negotiate if they bomb you, like. Let's just, and if you, of course, examined Gaza, on the West Bank, there was practically total peace the last 5, 6, even more years. The image you get from these papers is that there was an incredible compromising spirit from the Palestinian side, offering them practically entire Jerusalem and so on. And it was absolutely clear that it's Israel which is not interested in peace. Second, just a couple of points. Second point, I think it's so important the exact words you use, which make my point, which confirm my point, namely how undeniable they could no longer deny it and so on. That's important. You know, again, we are in this situation where I know, you know, you that you know that I know. But we can still play this cynical game, let's act as if we don't know. The function of WikiLeaks, even more important, I claim, in concrete ideological political situation than learning through WikiLeaks something new is to push us to this point where you cannot pretend not to know. Which is why, let me give you another example. Again, I'm not a total fan of Obama, although I still have certain respect for him, but this is cynicism at its purest. You remember this outcry in Zionist circles where Obama made the simple point that, not even exact frontiers, that the basis of peace should be the borders, the 67 borders. My God, the critical reaction was as if Obama said something, I don't know, following orders from Al-Qaeda or what, but this was the official US policy accepted. Only the obscenity of the situation was that although this was officially the US policy, it was part of the unwritten deal not to talk about it, to ignore it. That's our situation here. Step further, Egypt. I know, you know what's for me, and you had here a lot, the truth about Egypt. We Western Europeans had this normal, spontaneous, racist attitude. No. We would love to see a secular democratic movement in Arab countries. Unfortunately, all they can do is some stupid anti-Semitic, fundamentalist, nationalist, whatever outburst. Now, officially, we got exactly what we wanted. A purely secular uprising and so on. And you know how we behaved? My last loving, obscene example, did you see Francois Truffaut Day and Night, where a guy wants to sleep with a girl, tries to convince her for a long time, then finally they are alone because of an accident by a lake, and again he starts, please, let's do it quickly, we are alone here, and the girl says, okay, let's do it, and starts to unbutton her trousers. And the guy says, okay, but how do you mean? My God, just like that or whatever, like he is shocked. We were a little bit like that. Officially, we wanted secular democracy. The Egyptians said, okay, I put down my trousers, here you have your stupid secular democracy, and you cannot get it just like that. This was such a clear example of hypocrisy. Now, really to finish, maybe the most important thing, what you already said, I think, Amy, I think maybe this is one of the ways, if we are approaching the end, to conclude it. Even if you ignore WikiLeaks, it changed the entire field. It's, again, even at the level of publishing, spreading informations, you pushed things in a very formal way to a point of undeniability. Nobody can pretend that WikiLeaks didn't happen. And it would be very interesting to classify all reactions to WikiLeaks, you know, as different forms of, in psychoanalytic terms, repression, denial, whatever. Some people say formally, yeah, but try to neutralize it like, ooh, another chapter in freedom of the press, investigative journalism. Others say directly terrorism. I wonder, the approach I would have followed if I were to be on the other side would have been something like, it's basically a good thing, it's just misused by some extremists, you know. And then you kind of say, precisely to save the safe core of, good core of WikiLeaks. So what I'm saying is that, again, to conclude, don't worry, this is the moment of truth. WikiLeaks is an event, not only because of what it is as in itself, but because nobody can ignore it, it changed the entire field. The point is not to allow to be re-normalized, to remain faithful to it.
Just a note. Slavoj and I will be out signing books on the left in the lobby right afterwards and would love to talk to you. Definitely pick up a flyer. Yes, you do. And I want to end with this question. Julian, tomorrow, July 3rd, you turn 40 years old. What are your hopes for the future?
Well, there's the big future, there's the deep future that one can long for. That is a future where we are all able to freely communicate our hopes and dreams, factual information about the world with each other, and the historical record is an item that is completely sacrosanct, that would never be changed, never be modified, never be deleted, and that we will steer a course away from Orwell's dictum of he who controls the present controls the past. So that is something that is my lifelong quest to do. And from that, justice flows, because most of us have an instinct for justice, and most of us are reasonably intelligent. And if we can communicate with each other, organize, not be oppressed, and know what's going on, then pretty much the rest falls out. So that is my big hope. In the short term, it is that my staff stop hassling me to tell me to go.
What I wish you to all the best is another even more beautiful Miss Egypt. What stupid things we have to go through.
Thank you very much.
But really, was she beautiful, Miss Egypt?
That was great. Yes, yes.
She was beautiful.
Well,
We survived it.
we did. It was very interesting.
Okay.
Very good fun.
Listen, but fuck her, not literally. But I was told, I wasn't told about books. I was told there is no book.